The spring turkey application deadline is due February 11th. In this week's program, we're visiting with upland game biologist RJ Gross to go over all the details. I'm Mike Anderson with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. RJ, the spring turkey season, that's a popular season for our residents.
Yeah, it is. Like we kind of call it our recreation season. That's one where you can, it's been a long winter. You finally get to get out and get back into the field again. And it's usually pretty easy in North Dakota. Our turkeys aren't hunted very heavily, so they respond a little bit more to calls and things like that. And it's a good way, to take your kids out, youth, first-time turkey hunters, things like that. It's a good introduction into it. Yep.
Okay. How many tags this year versus last year?
There's a little under 8,500 tags. There's 50 less tags than last year. The way you kind of come up with tags, we don't really have a real good survey for turkeys. They're hard to survey, being in wooded areas. But I look at, like our depredation, if we're having a lot of turkey complaints with landowners, city turkeys, things like that, and then success rate. Success has been pretty good. There's only 2 units that we lowered it this year. Success is below, at 50% for a few years in a row. We tend to take that back. So we did that in a couple, and then we also raised it in a couple. So it, kind of worked out. Production this last season for turkeys wasn't as good as before. Like last season I heard a lot and I saw a lot. Jakes were out there. So this year there should be a lot more toms, the adults, and probably a few less jakes. But there should still be plenty of turkeys out there.
Okay, where did we decrease the tags this year?
Yeah, we decreased in the very far northwest and then down in the southwest. One of those units, so if you remember, we used to have unit 21 was closed. That was like Heidegger County. And we absorbed that unit into 2 other ones. And with being the first year for those, we were kind of experimenting with licenses, and we had to decrease in 1 unit of those.
Okay, let's talk about the spring turkey season. Very unique. People are calling them in. It's kind of a fun hunt.
It is a really fun hunt, when it all works out. It can be challenging. They don't always work out the way you want to, but normally, you're coming out of winter, like I said, the weather's getting better, hopefully, in the spring. So it's nice just to get out there, scout those turkeys. If I can give advice, you want to see where they're roosting, or that means they're in the trees at night. Then they'll, right at daybreak, they'll come down, chase those hens, and they're looking for food. So if you can get in between those spots, throw out a decoy, hide really well, don't move. They have really good eyesight. That's kind of their defense mechanism. So if you can sit real still, or hide in a blind, hide those kids in a blind that have to be moving all the time. But other than that, yeah, it's a really fun season to get out. It's bearded turkey only. Per tag you get 1, so that can be a female. Roughly 10% of females have the beard on them, so any bearded turkey is legal.
Okay, and they're typically displaying. Those turkeys are displaying it.
Yep, they're displaying. Their fans are out. They're gobbling. Usually the later it gets into the season, it's kind of the better. Right away they're still a lot of times in their winter flocks yet, or bigger flocks, and the hens aren't really receptive yet. They haven't started nesting. So if you get later and those hens are already out nesting, those toms are looking for something, and that's usually when they respond to calls a lot easier.
RJ, winter's been pretty decent so far.
It has.
Couple cold weeks.
Yeah.
How does winter treat turkeys?
Turkeys, obviously, they're a little bit bigger than the other upland birds that I cover, so they can take a hardier winter. And we've been learning that the last few years. But yeah, the winter's been really good. We haven't really had the cold until now, and then, coming up there's going to be a little bit. But when it's open like this, not very much snow, that's a lot easier. They can go out and still pick that food without having to go through snow and ice. So any energy that they can conserve to keep warm, that's for the better.
Some youth opportunities too.
Yep. So youth, 15 and under, your first turkey tag, you've never had one before, it's guaranteed statewide, any unit. And a change this year, it's going to be, you don't have to put that into the lottery before. That's going to be open kind of as a over-the-counter tag, I guess you could say. So even if it's in season and you decided the youth, sometimes kids change their mind. Yeah, I do want to go. You can just go and purchase that now and then go hunting. Just make sure you purchase that before you go out hunting. Yes.
RJ, some units up, some units down. How is the overall turkey population doing in North Dakota?
Yeah, I mean, overall, the turkey population, it's still at kind of one of our highest ever. When it kind of came to COVID, people really were looking to get out that spring, and hunter numbers really came up, and they haven't really came down. I mean, a little bit, but I think people are realizing, we have a fairly good opportunity in the spring, and they're taking advantage of it.
RJ, do you have any tips for new hunters for the first time going out for a spring turkey hunt?
Yep, and it can be overwhelming. That's the whole scouting part. But in North Dakota, it's pretty easy. Turkeys are, they like trees. They need trees. They're going to be along those river corridors. Follow any river tributary. And then a lot of times you can nail down turkeys from them. And an easy way to locate them is go out, right away in the morning before sunrise. Sit at a spot and you can listen. A nice calm morning, you can hear them gobbling from a long ways away.
And it's a good opportunity to do some good landowner-hunter relations too.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, most landowners are really receptive to you going turkey hunting. They do cause a lot of problems, and they can, unstay their welcome type of thing. So just, go knock on a door, and most often than not, people are going to let you go.
Okay, and how do you apply, and when is the deadline?
Yep, you can apply on our website, and the deadline this year is February 11th.
A lot of great information. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.